That is a great question. And I'm not sure that it was innocence for me. I
Mm.
guess what I could tie to it was the childlikeness of Christian. Very just like, for me, I know a lot of people are saying little brother, but for me, I kind of got like, oh, that could be my son. And so I was just like, yeah, maybe that's just what it was. He seemed very pure in intentions. He wasn't malicious. I mean, quite honestly, Christian was a goldfish amongst sharks. And
Mm.
he wasn't even aware, right? And so, I mean, he didn't even catch his own self that he introduced himself with two different names to two people standing right next to him. Like, whether Tressa was ever going to call him out or not, Christian didn't even have the self awareness that, oh, I just said Chris to you and Christian to you. Like, I was just like, oh, this poor baby. See, I would have pulled him to the side and said, all right, baby, now hold on. Your jacket looks good. Your skin's all moisturized. Now, when you walk over here, you're a Christian. Say it with me. Christian, right? Those were the vibes that I got from Christian. So precious, right? And when Maria brought up the fact that he made that comment, that really stuck with me about he wanted to love women the way he wanted his mother to be loved. I said, wow, was Christian possibly a surrogate husband to his mother?
Ooh.
And maybe that's a lot of the energy that he was bringing to the table. I also remember him saying that he didn't sleep the night before. He was a ball of nervous energy. Who could not see that? It was very evident. And I also wanted to factor in that he was 3 years from his experience with a rehab type of program, right? He had mentioned he had a challenge with alcohol. I thought to myself, could he also have just been nervous? I mean, you saw when they dropped them off at that house, they walk right into the foyer of the house is the champagne. Could he possibly have just been nervous with all of these people? They're kind of out of his league and they're all drinking. If he was like just drinking water, did he feel like he was out of place? And all of that was going on in that poor
Mm.
baby's head. And he was just a ball of nerves for me. And I felt like Kyra preyed on that. And I was like, oh, I don't like that you're doing that, sis. Because for me, when I sat here on my couch, like, oh, Christian, that could be my son. If I was there at the meet and greet, I probably would have still felt that way, but I would not have dared to call him out like that in front
Yeah.
of all those people. And I hope Kyra doesn't come on here when you do your post show interview and tells us that production told her to do that to him. Because I just can't take it. Like, I already cannot take it. I'm already not going to be liking that. You could have pulled him to the side and
Yeah.
just told him one on one, hey, sweetheart, they sometimes send people home on the first night on this show. And I don't want that to be you. You're like my little brother. Let me tell you what you got to do. Okay, these women are feeling you, but you got to bring that masculine energy, right? She could have did something like that, but she called him out, and it left a nasty taste in my mouth for me, for Kyra. But Christian's better off not.
I hear that. I hear that. I hear that. Okay, Aj, welcome to the conversation. Let me drop you in real quick. We're talking
Hey, thank
about
you.
no worries, man. No worries.
Hi, y'all.
We're good, man. We good. Pep.
Good.
We're talking about obviously Christian. Obviously, we know he got let go from the show. Sorry, I keep saying let go, like on the show, like they let him go off, like he had a contract. He didn't get chosen. Okay, the girls
He
didn't
was
choose
let
him.
go.
Yeah, in that sense. And what I'm trying to get everybody's point of view. I mean, was it the right decision from the ladies to choose Christian to go? Was Christian not ready? Was he ready? And the woman couldn't see the qualities in this young man, or what should you say your thoughts were?
Well, no, he was out of his league when it comes to the level of like attitude that you need to be on a show like that. And I do think that it could be that he has past trauma. It could be that. But he was a bit unsure of himself and he was just shaky. And I do think that he does have a teachable spirit, which is great. But the level of confidence and attitude you have to have for the show, he just didn't have it. He just did not have it. And I think I mentioned last time he reminded me of Sam, and true to
Yep.
form, they sent him home first because
Yep.
he just does not have that. You have to have a certain level of uh, attitude about you to be able to survive in that kind of an environment because they're all performers. So yeah,
Mm.
I think he just didn't have it. And it could have been that he mentioned he was a mailman too. And the ladies were like, oh no, we're not doing that. It could have been because they put him on the spot. They put him on the spot. And when he said that, it could have been that they were like, nah, we're not doing this.
Good point. Someone made it. Sorry, I just put that comment on because I didn't even realize I said young man like that, and I didn't realize I was doing that to him, and that's actually kind of, he's older than me. That's rude. So I didn't realize. My bad, guys. But this is what I'm saying. This is what happens when you put up a certain frame. People put you into that little box, right? So that first impression is really, really important. To be honest, I think we had a live last week, and I actually watched a little bit of it. We actually said this about Christian. We weren't sure exactly. You know, he was cute. He was a good-looking guy. You know, we love the dark-skinned man, but we wasn't really sure where he was going to fit in. So yeah, I think true to form, like you said, Adjoa, you did say it as well, he was like Sam, so you were absolutely 100% correct as well. Regina, what's your thoughts? So we're talking about, obviously, Christian. Was it right decision, wrong decision? You know, would you date him? I mean, is it, you know what I'm saying? Was he a bit? Is it not enough? You don't let the ladies like influence you. If you want to date Christian, there's nothing wrong with that at all. Okay.
Would I date him? So I was actually sad when he left, and then I realized I wouldn't have dated him. The only reason why I was sad was because he's like Kyra said, like little brother. Like he's someone I would just keep around, maybe hang out with. He'd probably pay for my meals.
Hey, you're keeping it. I'm not gonna lie to you. We know this together.
Just saying, he's sweet to talk to. He seems like a good listener. You know, probably help me out around the house, things like that. But I feel like this is a lesson that looks can only take you so far.
Ooh.
As you can see, a lot of the girls, all the women were like, "Oh, he's really attractive," and they were all, you know, giving him props. He looked nice. I think everybody looked pretty nice last night, but he looked nice. His suit was fitted, and everything was going right. But he wasn't assertive enough, and he was giving little brother vibes. So. But I also think the girls bringing him over to the table, that was a setup.
Yeah, man.
Because they knew, like, they brought him over to test him. They knew he was going to crumble under pressure. Once Stacey said, you know, he's not assertive enough. And Kyra was like, yeah, Christian, come over here. It was a wrap. Just like you said, they already made their mind up. Nothing was going to change after that. So yeah. I don't know, but yeah, it was the right decision. Had Khalil not been there, he would have been out first. It was too much pressure for him, and it's not a learning moment. When Kyra said, "I'm gonna get some water," and he's like, "No, I'm gonna go get it," and she was like, "See, you learned already. This isn't the time to learn. You need to already know." Sorry.
No, that's true.
You should have picked up on that quick.
Yeah, it was cute. It was nice to look at, but you're absolutely right. I mean, this is not a learning on the job situation because the job's already gone. So Sinead, there's a question here which I would love for you to answer as well. It says here, what is it that portrays Innocence, his lack of confidence, I guess. Like I think they're asking a question about what gives off this energy that he's got this innocence or lack of confidence from Christian, you know, or.
I think he just wasn't ready. I think he came into the show prematurely. And if he'd given himself a couple more years, I think he would have really found something special, potentially even someone like Liz. Because for me, I think he needs like a patient woman because he seems willing to grow and learn.
Yeah.
You know, for example, when he, who was it? Kyra. Who said, should I get you a drink? And he was like, oh, no, I'll get the drink. And then it was so sweet. He went over there, got the drink now, and he's like doing this mental check. Okay, water, sparkling water. And it was like, it was very sweet. So I could see he's making an effort. And I do want to clarify, did Kyra ghost him?
I think she did.
And that for me, it was just...
Like, she did. She walked away before he came back with the drink.
Listen.
Disrespectful.
Listen. And that's your little brother that you're trying to look out for, sis. Anyway, we'll come to that later. But my point is, I feel like with him, the confidence and the finesse isn't there yet. And I feel like the healing will allow him to get there. So I really I just wish this was a few years on in his life, because I feel like it would have just been a completely different experience. Like he said, he's never been married, no children. Like he has so much of his life ahead of him, I believe. So I just feel like... he just wasn't in the right space to really get anything out of this show. And that's unfortunate. But I really hope, I don't know, some sort of comeback for him. Not necessarily a KG type comeback, but just good for good to happen in his life.